Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto, and here's today's Sunday Roundup. So, the past week has been very telling, right? And the reason why I say that is because there's been a lot of news around regulation, a lot of moves in future growth. I mean, look at Coinbase doing their layer two, so they have their test net now, and they'll have their full main net next year. What I'm really paying attention to is the big hit that we got with regard to inflation in the United States. Now, I think what happened with the PCE numbers that came out is the fact that it proves that nobody knows. Everybody was on top of Powell. Oh, he's too hawkish. He's too hawkish. He's too hawkish. And here he is. Did a 25 basis point move the last time, and PCE numbers came back hotter than what everybody had thought. PCE or something like that. I forget. But it proves that we don't know anything, and that the Fed really does have an outlook on what's going on. Everybody was all on top of Bullard, including me, about his thoughts and views on what the economy is going to bring and how it's going to bring it. And the numbers came in hotter than expected. Inflation is hotter than expected. And it kind of goes to show that, yeah, hey, we don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. And that there's more that the Fed knows, the FOMC knows than we do. They're paying attention to things more than we do. When those numbers came in, I didn't hear a lot of talking heads, a lot of pundits, a lot of, television advisors come out and say, yeah, I knew that. No, they didn't, because they were all saying that, he's going too fast, he's going to overshoot and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the chance of him overshooting now are slim and null, right? So what am I expecting in the next, during the next meeting? I'm expecting a 50 basis point move. That's what I'm expecting. And people are saying, why would you expect that? I expect it because the inflation numbers came in hotter than expected. I'm expecting that because we still have a hot job market. And people are sitting there going, no, we don't. Like, pause, take a step back, go do the research on how many people are out of work right now, how many jobs are out there right now, right? And what's available. The job market is still hot. It might not be as hot as it was, but the job market is hot. So when you look at that, you look at other factors in inflation, and you have to say to yourself, everything's just too hot. Inflation is going to be here for a minute. They're trying to find a way to fix this. And then when you start to think about what you want to do in other countries or something like that, yeah, inflation is worse. These are some real deal problems that the Fed has to deal with. And I think I'm going to be one of those people that's going to say, you know what? I'm going to pay a hell of a lot more attention to what the Fed is doing, what the Fed is saying, the information that they're paying attention to. But I really do expect a 50 basis point move, during the next meeting. I really do. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. Something that I'm paying attention to because of that is the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin dipped below $23,000. It had actually, I'm looking at my notes now, that it had actually gone down to 22,861, which is clearly below the 23,417 number that I keep chiming in about. Now, are we back above that number? Amazingly enough, yes. Right now, when I look at the numbers, Bitcoin is at 23,524. So not only did it dip below, but it came back fast to reclaim that space, that lateral space that it was in before. And what that says to me is that, crypto seems to be more resilient with every day that comes. You've got Shiba Inu whales moving $15.5 million worth of SHIB over to Binance. That kind of signals to me that they're gonna do a sale or something like that. or possibly, or they, whatever it is they're going to do. But I'm sitting there and I'm just going, with all of these big moves that I've been seeing, all the news that's out there, the only thing that I keep getting back is crypto is very resilient. That's kind of big news. So I don't know what everybody else is thinking, but for me, I'm thinking, yeah, that's where I want to be, right? As my dollar value diminishes because of inflation, Bitcoin and altcoins keep rising or keep maintaining or getting hit for a little dip and then coming back. And think about this. Solana, I keep telling you, Solana is a project that I actually really like. I just, from a technical perspective, I have a problem with it. If I had to run anything mission critical, right? And they proved it again this past weekend. They had a little bit of an outage. They had to fix it with a fork. They did fix it. They were on top of it. But it's still one of those, it happens more often than I would care to want to see. Polygon had a little bit of a problem this past week. And I know you guys are thinking, oh, this is supposed to be the Sunday Roundup, his outlook going forward. But all of that happened in the past is also going to affect how I'm looking at it in the future. Polygon proved resilient. Solana seems to be proving that not only is their team resilient, not only is their team strong, but they're quick to react. So I'm starting to get a little bit more faith in Solana. But my clock is back at 0. I'm back at, 0 days of uptime, right? Because they had to freeze assets. They had to freeze assets in place so they can fix everything, and then they, unfroze. Polygon kept it moving real quick. When I look at the future of things that are out there, I look at XRP, what's going on with XRP, what's going on with Ripple, what kind of deals are they pulling? Ripple's all over the place right now. Like, wow, cutting all kinds of deals. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with XRP directly, but the fact that Ripple is out there, helping with CBDCs. Did you look at the UK? Somebody asked me, Eddie, what's your price prediction for Bitcoin, right, for 2030? And in my head, I'm going, my response to that person was, I am not a technical analyst, right? So I'm not qualified to do something like that. I just know that from my research, I'm seeing that there are signs that say to me that Bitcoin is going to do well. All coins are going to do well. Not all of them, but I think certain altcoins and Bitcoin are going to do very well in the future. By the time 2030 gets here, here's what I am expecting, not from a numeric standpoint, but from an actionable standpoint. So I'm expecting a hell of a lot more adoption. I'm expecting a hell of a lot more small businesses, regular businesses accepting crypto. I'm expecting a hell of a lot more regular people having crypto wallets, whether they be custodial or non-custodial. What I'm expecting is a shakeout of some of these, lack of a better term, poor projects that are out there, right? The fact is that there are only going to be but so many coins that are going to be in play. And it'll be the coins that actually provide real use case, that have something going on, whether it be games running on the platform like Gala, like Shibarium rather. There are just so many things that are going on. You have Chainlink as connective tissue, Polygon as connective tissue, Avalanche, Solana, Cardano, of course. So you just have, Ethereum and Bitcoin, do I really have to list those? You have so many coins out there, Polkadot even, Cosmos. You have a lot of projects out there that are doing things that are of use to others. And as long as you are of use, or a project is of use, I expect it to thrive. The question is, how many projects out there are providing an alternative, model to what's there now? And will they make enough of a case to garner enough of a market to continue? We're not looking at a 100% CBDC world. We're not looking at a 100%, crypto world. We're looking at a combination of both. We're not looking at a fully non-custodial, custodial space. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today for the short part of the video. For the longer part of the video, you should get into doing research on things that provide a look into a use case. All right. What I mean by that is, so I came across an article where Adidas is contemplating using token gated sneaker drops. I'm sure you've seen it. If you've ever seen, a new drop for a popular sneaker, all of the sneaker stores or shoe stores have lines out in front of them. This would take care of that, because imagine you have to have a token in order to get that sneaker. Wow. Imagine if if Adidas could get their logistics straight, where they could pre-sell the sneaker previous to manufacturing, pre-sell the token previous to manufacturing. That means they can manufacture the proper number of sneakers at the proper time and see how the market reacts. There are a lot of ways, a lot of directions that they could go with doing a token gated offering. My point is not just for that, it's also a token gated offering for a lot of things that are out there. Right? You already have to use NFTs to get into certain clubs, certain restaurants, things like that. I'm looking for far more adoption. In this coming week, what I'm expecting is, we got hit with 3 pieces of bad news last week. 2 of them were crypto specific. Solana and Polygon both had network issues. Both recovered well. Inflation numbers came back hotter than usual. Crypto seems to be recovering well. Is it back up to where it was, just a couple of days ago? No, but it's above that 23,417 that I keep harping on. It's taking the bigger hits. The crypto industry is taking the bigger hits better, and while it's in stride. That alone right there says to me, I'm expecting whatever news to hit this week to do well for crypto. I think it's going to be good news coming up for the following weeks, especially this week. I think there'll be a little bit more good news and less bad news. But the thing that I'm keying in on is crypto establishing or reestablishing that, lateral movement space that it happens to be in right now. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm counting on. Because if it didn't take a big dump when, we found out that inflation's hotter than before, stock market got hit. But it was also Friday. You sell on Fridays for some reason, but it is the way it is. Buy Mondays, sell Fridays, whatever. But I really am expecting crypto to go up a little bit. Just the recovery of being back above, 23,417. We had fought a long time for Bitcoin to get back into to actually establish that, let alone fight to get back to it and then maintain. So I'm looking for this week for Bitcoin to maintain that space again. And if it does that again, if it maintains that space again, I'm going to expect Bitcoin to actually take off. Sleeper. I'm expecting Ethereum. Ethereum's been kind of coiled up for a while. I'm expecting Ethereum to take off too. I really am. I really, really am. So Bitcoin is up like 40%, 41.5% just about right now year to date. Ethereum is only 36% year to date this year, 2023. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, wow, that's interesting. I'm paying a lot more attention to what coins are moving faster, harder than other coins. I'm paying attention to what traditional banking is doing, right? Those are the things that I'm paying attention to and will be for the next few months, because that's going to lay the groundwork for everything that's going to happen going forward. We have a halving next year for Bitcoin. So I'm expecting buy, no matter what's going on right now, at least for me. My DCA or dollar cost averaging strategy is to buy. I'm dividing my purchases against coins that I believe are going to do something. And I have a small slither of that to go toward my long shot coins. Those long shot coins are VeChain. They're logistic geniuses. It's just great for logistics. They focused on that. So that's one thing that I'm paying attention to. Who's the next one? UFO Games is like a dream shot, but Gala Games is, to me, even though it's a long shot, to me it's a solid shot. Really is. If you're not paying attention to VeChain, let me see if I can bring it up real quick. Just for me to be able to reference. Oh, I have everything open. Let's do that. Just bear with me so I can look at my notes. Here, I'll just do a search real quick. Actually, I should share it with you so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. That's much better. All right. So let's do a search on Control F V. Be nice if I was over here. Just left VeChain. All right. So VeChain is up 76.45%. You can see that right here. Here's VeChain. And that's interesting to me because VeChain, I'm paying attention to anything that's above $1 billion market cap. Straight up. Lido is in that space. You can see what I have ticked off here, right? But VeChain is number 33. It's coming in at little under 3 cents. To me, that's another buy. It's been stagnant for a little while, but I'm sitting back and I'm going, I say stagnant only because I'm not hearing a lot of news about it. But it is up 76%. Near Protocol is something I was paying attention to. I don't own any. I do own VeChain. I'm not really paying attention to Kronos anymore, but Kronos is up freaking, 42%. So these are things I'm paying attention to as we move forward because I'm looking at the hit that we originally took this week and I'm saying to myself, wow, we got bad news in 3 different ways and crypto has maintained. I'm looking for more lateral movement before we go up again. That's my thought for this week. We didn't have a great week last week, but it might be a wider range, but we're still trading within a range. I want to see us maintain above that 23,417, and the next mark would be $28,028. Within that range is what I'm expecting to do, what I'm expecting to see for a little while. And I think that as springtime gets here and people start traveling and doing things and being more active, I think that's when you're also going to see, things pick up. Anyway, that's Eddie J on Crypto. If you have questions, do me a favor, hit me up. If you notice, I am wearing my Rebel Vino shirt today. We got a lot of things going on with Rebel Vino. If you're a foodie type, check out the website. It's a social media platform dedicated to food and beverage. And we also have 2 streaming channels, one on Roku, one on Fire TV, all about streaming about food and beverages, right? So wine reviews, how to cook things, all that kind of stuff. So we're just getting started. We're bringing a whole bunch of stuff and we plan on doing the same thing for Eddie J on Crypto and Grow My Bag TV. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye.